let's add one more thing here, and this is the inside the request.php here. We will be uploading files and images and all that, so I want us to deal with that over here. So what I'll do is, in the request here, I'm going to put some public variables. I want us to be able to speed up the file upload thingy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say upload size. So we can call it upload max size, just to be on the safe side. So depending on how many megabytes you want to be able to upload, let's put something like 20 MB there. That covers most images, most PDFs and all that, but you can always increase this because it's a public variable, so you can edit it before running specific functions. So with that, we can also upload types, file types, like that, and this is set to an array. So this array can contain the most common file types that you normally upload. So for example, like image JPEG. Let's put a few of these here. Image JPEG, there's image PNG, there's also image WebP, which is very common now. I think these are more web friendly, maybe GIF as well. Then you can also upload text plain. So you can keep going and add whatever you want here. I think I did show you, I don't know if it's in this tutorial or a different one, on how to figure out the what's this, the file type, but let's leave that out for now. This should be enough. We can always add those because every upload session is very specific. So file types, max size, and what else? Upload errors as well. So here we can say upload errors. So this one will be equal to an empty array, like that. Okay. So we are, yeah, that's too far. Okay, so upload size, errors, and type. What else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something, but I think that's it. So let's come down here to our functions. I'm going to say function, we must declare that this is a public function. This function is upload files. Now upload files will expect a string here, or nothing. So we can do it like this, a string or no of the key, like this. But instead of putting no there, let's just put a default empty value, like that, or it could be no, it doesn't matter. So empty value, and then a string key, and what else? Oh, that reminds me, yes. So this returns a string. Does it? Wait. It returns a string or an array, one of those two. So let's do that. Okay, so here we'll just say return files, like that. There's something I've forgotten here. Yes, upload folder. That's what I was trying to remember. So upload folder. Yes, so we need to know the folder that we are uploading to. In our case, it would be called uploads, but we are putting it here so that it's editable, the folder. Now instead of putting a slash there, let's just leave it out like so. Okay, so that's the folder we are going to upload folder, upload max size, upload. Okay, I think we have enough with that. So in order to check what's going on, we have these files. Where is this? This files array here. Wait, what does it return? Returns the entire files thingy. Okay, that's great. So what we'll say is if, so first of all, let's say if this files, okay, if empty, if empty files like that. If not empty, then we do all of this, and then we return files. Now files should be a value somewhere. Please do not use the double question mark here either, it's not gonna work. Okay, so let's see, files, let's set this to an empty like that, okay? But then if key has a value, if key has a value, we're going to return a files is going to be equal to let's see here, we'll say if empty, I think let me put one line here, a one-liner. So I'm gonna say if empty key like that, okay, let's put a question mark, then files becomes an empty array. But if it's not empty, it becomes an empty, it becomes a string. Then if key is empty, we're going to return one file name, so that's when we return the string. If it's not, wait, if it's empty, we return the array. Sorry, my bad. And then if it's not empty, it's got a key, it means we are targeting a very specific file. So let's use single quotes because they don't take as much processing power as double quotes. Whenever PHP sees double quotes, it expects that you have variables inside that string, so it takes a bit longer to process that because it's trying to look for variables. So where you know that you have no variables in a string, always use single quotes. Okay, so files empty, blah blah blah. Okay, so that's great, but if this is not empty, let's loop. So we're going to do a loop. So we'll say this files like that as key and file. Now this file is a file array, so we'll just do that, say file array, so that we keep a mental note of that. Now the file array contains three things. There's a file type, there's type like this, okay, and then there's size, and then there's TMP name, and then there's actually name, okay, like so. So these are the things contained, and there's also error like that. So when error is 0, it means there's no error, so we should keep that in mind. These are the things that are contained in here. You can check that by trying to upload and then reading what was uploaded there. Okay, so these are the things we have to work with. And in order to move a file to some uploaded folder, you're going to say move uploaded file. This is the function, and then you move the file name to its destination like that. It's as simple as that. So what we will do is at this point here, if we are doing a for each loop, it's different. So we'll say if empty key, the way we've done it here, if key is empty, then we are looping through the whole thing, so this is fine. But let's put an else statement. Sorry about this terrible typing, might get confusing. Okay, right, so when the key is empty, we're getting all files that were uploaded, but when the key is there, we're getting a very specific one. So here we'll say if not empty, Okay, let's just say if empty, wait, if empty key, we go here. Okay, so here we are sure the key is not empty. So if empty, the files, wait, this files returns an array. So if this is empty, and then because this is an array, remember that, we'll put our key in there like so. So if this files key, that particular key that we are checking for, that came from the top, if that does not exist, then we're going to return and say there was an array. Oops, that's getting crazy there. Okay, so here we'll say return false, and then here we will say, okay, so if we return false, then it's neither a string or an array. So instead, let's return, because this is for when we are going for a specific file, so I'll return an empty string like that. But then we're going to say this upload errors, and then here the upload errors we're going to say what will we call this? Maybe we'll put this inside name or something and say file not found, like that. Okay, so upload errors, name, file not found. Okay, great. Now this goes without saying, before we start we should set the errors to 0. So we'll do this, file uploads is equal to empty, just to make sure that that is empty as well. Okay, so if that's empty, we return, and then we continue if it's not empty. So it's the same thing here, and we will still have these guys over here to deal with. Now if we are doing an array here, we're going to list, so there's a files array here. Okay, so let's call this one uploaded, like that, and we're going to put it an empty array, and then over here we will do destination. After we move the file, we'll say uploaded is equal to destination, like that. Okay, so we're adding to this array, and then once we are done, we will say return uploaded, like that. Okay, so we upload one file at a time and then return the list of uploaded files. This is the destination file name where we've uploaded them to, so that's fine. And then here, same thing, we're going to return uploaded. No, here we're going to return destination. So I'm going to copy that because there's no loop. Alright, great. Okay, so let's do something here and then copy that code over to the other side. So we want to check for each and every one of these things. Okay, so for each files, blah blah blah, there's a file. If there's a file in here, we have first to check if there's no errors. So we're gonna say if file error, we don't know the error yet. Now we could put error code here so that in case we want to know the error code, we can do that as well. So upload error code, like so. So for now that's 0. This is for future use, you could need that. Okay, so let me come back again here. So if error is greater than 0, which means there is an error. Okay, so I'm gonna say this error upload error code, which is this one, should be equal to whatever error code this is. So let's copy that and paste it there. and then we return. Actually here, because this is a loop, we're just going to continue with the loop like that. Okay, good. And yeah, that creates a problem, because then upload error code, there's errors and there's error codes. You know, I don't think it helps us to put many error codes. Let's just put that one. We'll have the last error code and that should be fine. Okay, so every one of these that we are setting here, we should set here at the beginning to their default values. That way we know we are not showing errors from a previous upload. Alright, so that goes with the error code here. Let's do this as well, the next one here. Let's check for, what are we checking for now? The type. So here we'll say type. So say if in array the needle is what we are looking for, so that's this type here. The haystack is inside this. Upload file types. Okay, so if it's in there, but we just care if it's not, so let me remove that. So if it's not in there, then we'll say upload errors. Is that right? Yes. So on this one we're going to put it inside type like so. Actually, why am I doing this at all? Because this could potentially replace things. Let's see, did I do this with something else again? File, error code. Yeah, and I forgot one thing here. Errors should have something. So let's do this and say an error occurred. We'll say an error occurred with file, and then we will put the file name. So let's concatenate the file array name so that the user can know which file had an error. So with errors we say an error occurred with file blah blah blah. Okay, and then we continue. That's okay. Continue means we continue the loop, so we don't cancel the upload process just because of one file. And then here we go to file types, and errors becomes yeah, so exactly what we did here is what we're gonna do. We'll put this here, so boom, we say inside errors we'll say the file invalid file type, invalid file type, and then we'll put the file name here. Okay, and then let's continue. One more here. Okay, what remains? We've done with the type, we're done with the error, so the next is size. So we're gonna say size. Now on size here we have to do some calculations. So that number we've put at the top there is if file size is greater than this upload size, upload max size, like that. So now upload max size is just a number like 10, but the uploaded files will be sent as kilobytes, not even kilobytes actually, bytes. So what will happen is you need to multiply this by 1024, which makes it a kilobyte, but since those are megabytes, we'll multiply that again by 1024. Okay, so that number times 1024 times 1024 gives us the number of bytes to compare with. So if the size of the file, then we know it's too much, so file too large, then we put that there. So if you want, actually, you can tell the user that file is too large, the maximum should be this amount, but it's better to put that information on the form itself so that they know in advance that they should limit the file to this size. And then here, the file name there, that's fine. File too large, boom. And then what else? So we've dealt with the size, we've dealt with the type, we are using the name. So we remain with this temp name here. So I'm gonna grab this guy over here because that's the source. Actually, that is the source. So we move the uploaded file from the temp name to the destination, so which means we need to create the destination. So destination is going to be equal to this upload folder. Now that uploads folder is called uploads, right? Yes. Then let's trim this guy. So we're gonna say trim. In case the user puts a slash at the end, let's trim it out. So we're gonna do that and put the slash over there. We trim that, and then we add our own slash at the end, just to be consistent, so that if they add, we remove it and add. If they don't add, we still add it anyway. Right, so that's our destination, but at the end of that slash, we need to have the file name. So let's grab that file name here, whatever the name of the file is, and paste it there. Now, it's up to you to check if this file exists or not, because it depends what you want. If you want to be able to what do we do here? Okay, we'll check if file exists, but for now what we'll do is let's check for the folder to make sure. So if file exists, like that, I want this folder over here, so let me grab this. Oh, wait. Actually, it doesn't matter whether there's a slash or not when checking for file exists. No, actually let's use isdir like this. I think that would be better. So if not is directory, then let's make that directory. So mkdir, and now we don't have a folder. Oh, we do. We're checking for this guy. So let's paste it here. Let's give ourselves permission to edit. Let's make it recursive. Okay, good. So we have created our folder, we have a destination, and we can upload a file. So good. This is nice. What else remains? Now, if the file exists, you may want to add a 1 at the end. How you do that is entirely up to you. Let me do this first of all. Folder is equal to, it's better to have a folder first. So I'm going to grab this and put it here, like so. And then grab that folder and put it here instead. Okay, like that. And same thing here. Let me replace these two with folder, like so. Okay, good. Now, if the file exists, destination. If file exists, okay, that destination file, we want to give it a number there, and then check if it exists again, and keep adding numbers until we get it right. So we're gonna say file. I don't know, I've used file many times, so I'm gonna say my file instead is equal to, let me grab the base name. Should I? Is this necessary? No. Let's just get destination itself. So say destination is equal to, in fact, let me say file extension. Extension is equal to preg match. Let's put a pattern there. In fact, let's just do this. It's easier to do this. Let's do explode, and we're exploding on the dot, and what we're exploding is destination. And then that creates an array, but then we'll say end ext, like that. So we get the file extension. That's how we get the file extension there. So we are separating the file name. Wherever there's a dot, we split that, and then we just get the last item, which is always the file extension. So once we get the file extension, we can preg replace now in the destination. So what I'm going to do is say destination is equal to preg replace. Now the reason we are using preg replace instead of string replace is because some file names are weird. You can have something like myfile.jpg, but then sometimes you find that there's my file and then somebody added jpg in the file name, maybe even a dot there, .jpg, and then put some other text and then .jpeg. So if we replace, then it's going to replace both this and that, which may be good sometimes but may not be good other times. So preg replace will tell us, we can actually tell it to get at the very end by putting a $sign like that. So what we are looking for is dot, whatever that is. So we'll put a slash there to escape this dot there, and then we put the extension, and then here we put the $sign to say search at the end of the string. So we are replacing that with something else. So we replace it with dot and then ext, like that, which is what was exactly there. But then we can put a number here. Let's just put a random number. So I'm just going to say replace with random number from 0 to, oops, what have I done? 0 to 4 digits, like that, and then concatenate. So that, and then we concatenate the file extension at the end there. Yes, maybe we can even put an underscore. Those are always nice. Alright, so we replace all of that, preg replace. From this we replace with that adds a number at the end, and yeah, we keep replacing. Actually, we don't even need many numbers here. We can just have a few, because every time we'll be adding to it, so that's okay. Even just 100 is good enough. And then the subject is destination, like so. Okay, so destination is changing in here. So what we can do is we can use a while loop instead of an if statement. So we can say while file exists, let's keep looping, and then we change the destination every time. Now there's a danger here of creating an infinite loop. So this is why what I do in situations like this is I'll say num is equal to 0, and then within this I say num plus plus, like that. So we set num to 0, and then we increment num, and then we give it a limit. So here we say while file exists, and, so we're going to put an and here, num is less than. So here you tell it how many times it's allowed to loop. So I think 10 times is a lot. If it loops 10 times and the file still exists, then just replace it. You know what? Just replace it. So this is a good fail-safe to make sure that your while loop never goes beyond a certain number. So num should be less than 10 for this to run. Okay, great. is dir destination blah blah blah, and then return uploaded. Okay, hopefully I have done my due diligence here and everything is cool. You know what, if there's a key here, because I'm trying to repeat myself here, so I don't like repeating myself, so what I'll do is I'm just gonna remove all of this. Let's let me just grab this if statement here, and let me grab that. Let's remove this last part here. We don't actually need it. What we will do instead is this. If the key is empty, how do we do this? Let me do this. Okay, if empty, okay, so let me go down here. There's this one, we don't need that anymore because we're going to do a loop anyway. So I'm going to shift tab these to come back over here and then return loaded. Okay, that's fine. The loop ends here. Now what I want to do is, if the key is empty, we're just going to say get1 is equal to true, and then we will start with get1 is equal to false, and we don't really need these brackets. Okay, so get1 is false, but if the key is empty, then get1 is true, so which means we just need 1. So get1 here, when we say if empty, yeah, here we are continuing, right? This presents a dilemma here, but it's fine. If empty, let's put this here, and then return file not found. Okay, that works. And then uploaded blah blah blah, we come down here, and then this is our loop, and then we'll say again, we'll say if get1, then we break. Okay, so the reason we're doing this is that if there's a key provided, it means we want one file. So we say get1 starts with false, but then if there's no key provided, if not empty, actually. So we start with get1 as in false because we need all the files, and then if the key is not empty, then get1 becomes true, and then we say if get1 and that particular key is empty, then we say file not found. And what else? So if it's not get1, it means we have to loop through everything, so we load everything here. But then if it's get1, the moment we get to the first successful upload, we break, which means we stop the loop. We just needed that one file, and then here we return reloaded. But then we need uploaded, sorry. We need this if statement here as well. If get1, we return the first item in here, not the entire array. We return that like so. Okay, now if that does not exist, let's do a return here, sorry. If that does not exist, we will do this and return an empty string like that. Otherwise we just return the whole array. Okay, alrighty then. This is wait, what about return files here? What is this? Oh, this is for when there are no files that were uploaded. Okay, so that works as well. Okay, where is this coming from? Let's see, this can be a bit confusing if we're using files like that. So what I'll do is I'll put uploaded here instead from the start. Okay, so if that is empty, blah 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 blah. Okay, just for consistency there. Good. So hopefully that wasn't too complex or anything. Let me scroll down so you see the entire function. It may have been a bit of a mess, but there it is. So upload files, boom. Okay, so I know time has gone on too long, but let's try to upload a file just to be sure that this is working. So to upload, so we're going to do this. Let's try this in the one of the plugins. So we're going to test this in the basic auth. That's the one we're using mostly. So this is what it has. So on the controller here is where I want to do things. Now in the controller we are loading a controller file, but I only want to load this file if there was something posted. So here what I would do is I'm just going to say request is equal to new core request. Okay, so here we're going to say if request posted like that, then we require that. Okay, good. So now we can go to our controller. So here we put all the controller files that we need. So here we know something was already posted, so we are good to go. So here what I'm just going to do is I'm going to say file is equal to request. Since we already have request loaded, we'll say upload files like that. And then we don't provide, I want to provide a key here. The key will be image like that. Okay, cool. So image goody, and then what I would do is echo the file and just say uploaded file, and then file. That's the file name. So that's how we'll be uploading files like this. It makes things very simple. So let's go and try to do that. Now we have to have views for this basic auth. So the view is this, but for the sake of our situation, let's put a form instead with method of post. Now in order to upload files, we have to change the enc type to multi-part, and then slash form data like that. Okay, so now that we have that, we can now have an input of type file and named image, because that's what we're expecting in our controller, which is that one over there. So image blah, and then just a button to submit. Yeah, simple and straightforward. So if I come back here and do a refresh, let me remove this boolean false here. Where is that coming from? Right here. So remove this. Boom. That's where that's coming from. Let me refresh. Okay, so we have this part here that allows us to... Wait, why did I... Okay, in the view here, let me grab the view from another... I just want this div right here. Yeah, so back to our view here with a form. I'll do this, and I will do that. Goody. Just so it's in the center here. So, let's click browse and upload a file. So, I'm going to go and upload any of these files, but I think we are looking for an image, the file types there. So I'm going to show you how we can do different things. let me upload this image, this PNG over here. So that's our PNG, and if I say submit, then we see uploaded file, and there it is. It went to uploads, and that's the file there. So let's make sure that that file actually does exist and was uploaded. Let me go to uploads. So now we have an uploads folder, and if I click, there it is. See? Yeah, no errors whatsoever. That's what happens when you have a lot of experience. So keep practicing. You reach a point where you can code for hours without even checking your code, and you'll find that it works just fine. But if it doesn't work just as fine, don't worry. Over time and experience, you learn to read code a bit better and code faster that way, because checking is simple, but it wastes quite an amount of time if every time you're going back to your browser to check every little thing that you've done. Okay, but even if there were errors, we should be happy about that. Now let's try and upload multiple files, shall we? Now in order to upload multiple, we have to allow our form to select multiple. So this is the input here. We're just going to type the word multiple like that, and just like that we are now allowed to select multiple files. So cancel that. Let's just refresh. So if I click browse this time, I will get to select multiple files. So select this one, I will select that other file here and say open. Now at the same time we'll get to see what happens when we try to replace an old file, an existing file there. So let's try and submit. Now on this one, since we are submitting multiple files, in fact, let's leave it at 1. I just want to see what happens when we replace a file. So I'll submit, and there it is. So as you can see, it has added an _50 at the end there. Let's check it out, and there it is. So it didn't replace this file. There's a second version there. There are 2 files now. So you know it actually works that way. But then once we put multiple here, in my controller, I want to remove this image thingy here. So I'll remove that to make sure it uploads all files. And this time, this one will return an array. So files, then uploaded files. Let's do this. Files. Then here we're going to use the implode function to implode all of these guys, glued by a break tag. And let's put files over here. Alright, so let's see how that works. I'm going to browse, and let's select 2 files where I had seen files over here. There is a file there. Where are the other images? Oh boy, that's another image, and that's another image. Okay, so 3 images. So it says 3 files selected. Great. Let's upload all of these guys. So submit. Okay, so there's this one. So only 1 was uploaded. So yep, that is a mistake over there. So we have only 1 which was uploaded. So not cool, man. So let's see what's going on. Let's delete these files anyway. Delete file, in the uploads folder, delete file. So yes, we get to debug, and I really love debugging. I hope it shows. Anyway, so upload errors here, empty, error code empty. There's something I'm missing here. We're just adding errors, blah blah blah. Okay, I think it's actually good. Because this is set to empty at the start. Okay, so we are good here. So why does it upload only 1 file? So for each, this as key file array. So this should work as intended. So if get 1 return if get 1 break. Okay, so get 1 is having the wrong value. So we say if not empty. Okay, what I'm gonna try here is just to muzzle this one here and see if everything works as planned. So I'm going to submit. So that turned out to be empty. Why? Let's see what we've uploaded in the uploads folder. Nothing. Okay. Okay, now things are getting spicy, no? Very cool. Move uploaded file, same file name, destination. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is check here. Oh, wait a minute. I keep forgetting this. We have errors here that we can check for, and we're not checking for errors. So let me do this. Let me say dd, and I'm going to say request, and then say upload errors. Yeah, let's do that so that we can see those errors if they exist. Okay, so let's try again. Let's refresh. Aha, so there we go. So an error occurred with file. Which file? That's frustrating. Okay, so that's the only error we got, but it's not good enough, but let's check. Okay, so the first thing we would do is let's see how far we are actually going here. So I will come to, at least we know we are an error occurred with file, and then it gives us one file. Upload errors, blah blah blah, error code. Okay, at least we know we get here. So what I want to do is, at this point, I want to check what's inside this guy. So I'll say this, like so. In fact, even before we go to the loop, let's do it there. So I'm gonna refresh and resend. Ah, so we do get emptiness after all. So there's nothing really in there. Ah, okay. Interesting indeed. Okay, let me browse some files again. Why is it that we're not getting these files in there? Come on, come on, come on. Okay, let me grab this one. And this one and this one. Open. And let's submit. We get one. Why? Alright, so one is uploaded and we got just that one. Okay, so nothing wrong with my code here. Let's go here. Maybe there's something wrong with this function, right? So let's go and figure that out, because if I do this, let me try and grab them from directly in the files array, like so. And let's try to resend this. Wow, it's just one. What is going on here? I do not understand. Multiple. Oh, right. I see. I remember now, this is not how to upload multiple files at all. Oh boy. Okay, I see. So this is my mistake. The code is just fine. So I'm going to remove that, and everything here, the code is okay. So sometimes you forget these tiny little things. So let's undo everything we did here, thinking the code is bad. It is not. Okay, so what we are supposed to do to upload multiple files is not to say multiple like this, because then they are merged together. What we're supposed to do is add several inputs instead, like that. Jeez. Okay, so let's do this. Now I can upload several files one at a time like this. Now using the other method, we can do it with Ajax. So we'll see how to do that. If you want to select multiple files at once and then send all of them, it's easier to use an Ajax request. So here I'm just clicking each individual input and then adding an image there. I've run out of images, haven't I? Okay, some of these images, come on, why can't I find an image? Let's go to my desktop here. All right, let's just grab any of these. Okay, so if I submit now, yep, you see uploaded files, there's this one, there's that one, and there's this one. So it works just fine. The code is okay. My bad, sorry for taking you on this longer ride. Okay guys, so uploads working fine, everything is working great. So I need to mention here that we are practically done with this framework at this point. Everything that needed to be added will be added. If I forgot something, we'll probably add it along as we create plugins, because then sometimes that will jog my memory and we'll remember that we forgot something. But pretty much this is it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start creating plugins one by one. But we'll create a plugin that comes with two plugins that come with the framework. One is the 404 and the other one is the homepage, so that at least when you load your framework, you have a homepage to load, and then you have a 404 page for page not found. Those two are very important. But then we're going to create plugins that will allow you to create a blog in a day if you wish, just like you do with WordPress, where you get the framework and then there are plugins there. You can add themes and plugins and all that. And even without buying anything or purchasing anything, you can actually have a functioning website. You may not like the look of it, but at least you have a functioning website. So this is what I want us to create. We're going to create plugins one by one. Each series will be each plugin will be a different series. And so we'll create one for authentication, one for creating pages, and one for creating posts, and then an admin plugin, and what else, and the users manager, so you can add, edit, delete users and all that. So you can make a functioning blog from that. Now after I create all those plugins, you should have a grasp of how to make plugins by the end of it. That way you can create even more advanced plugins. We may create one plugin for payment system, just so you know how to integrate a payment system if you want to, etc, etc. Then maybe we'll create in future a social website with a plugin, a social website plugin, something like that. We'll see. Anyway, hopefully you have learned something great in this series, but two more videos coming for, I think it's one more video coming for two plugins that we're going to create. I'll see you then.